So, in the previous lecture we discussed the guidelines which we follow to build structures of ionic solids, and those guidelines were basically based on that anions and cations should touch each other, anions and cations do not touch, anions don't touch anions and cations don't touch cations, and there should be maximum possible coordination of anions and cations to minimize the electrostatic energy. So, now what we look at is some of the examples of solids which have various coordinations based on their radius ratios, and we will start with the formation of solids in ionic solids category. So, the first I will give you few examples, and you will see in these examples there are certain deviations. Life is not always rosy as per the guidelines. There are certain deviations, and those deviations are mainly because of bonding. Okay. So let us say we start with, on left side we have compound, okay, and then we write Rc by Ra, which is nothing but Rr, and then we write predicted coordination Cn predicted, and then actual coordination. Okay. So, let us see how do we go there. So, if we look at, for example, cesium chloride. So, we take example of cesium chloride, the predicted one is 0.91. 0.91 is on the higher side. As a result, the predicted coordination is cubic coordination, and actual is also cubic. Okay. CaF2 that we looked at, radius ratio is 0.73, predicted is it's at the boundary. Okay. It's at the boundary, it could be octahedral, it could be cubic, but it tends to have, so basically this is octahedral or cubic, because it's at the boundary, it tends to have cubic, and this is coordination number of cations. Okay. So, here we when we talk about coordination number, we generally talk about coordination number of cation. Anion is determined accordingly. Then we look at MgO, the predicted is 0.59, as a result you should have octahedral. Okay. It is more than 0.414, but lesser than 0.732, and it has octahedral coordination. Then we have example of NaCl, the most famous example, it has 0.54, again it has octahedral, and it has octahedral. And then we have example of silicon oxide, this has 0.20. Okay. 0.20, if you look at it, if you look at the table that I showed you earlier, 0.2 will go into 3-fold or 4-fold, right. So, it will have 3-fold, or actually it is in 3-fold, right, it is lower than 0.2 to 5, but it is at the boundary, so you can say it could have 4-fold. It has 4-fold because of covalent bonding, SiO2. Okay. So, because of strong covalent character, it tends to have a tetrahedral bonding as compared to 3-fold coordination. So, there are certain other deviations that we will see, especially in case of covalently bonded solids which occur. But now what we will do is that we will look at the some of the structures, examples of the structures of ionic solids. So, typically in ionic solids, anions are generally bigger and they form the base lattice. They form the base lattice, and these structures are based by and large on close packing of anions. So, since they form the base lattice, the structures are categorized as structures based on cubic close packing of anions structures based on hexagonal close packing of anions, and structures which are, let us say we put them in one category as other structures, which could have primitive cubist structures and things like that. Okay. We will first look at the structures which are based on cubic close packing of anions. The anions make a lattice which is cubic close packed or FCC in nature, and cations go and occupy the interstices in them. So, the first in this category is structures based on CCP packing of anions. Okay. So, in this there are certain kind of structures. There are structures which are called as NaCl based structures. Then we have zinc sulphide based structures. Then we have fluoride and antifluoride structures. These are three important structures. Then we have spinel structure and a few more. So, we will first start our discussion with sodium chloride based structures. So, if you look at sodium chloride based structure NaCl, it is also called as rock salt. Okay. So, these compounds are called as rock salt structured compounds. Okay. Rock salt structured compounds. They have AX kind of structure, where A is cation and X is anion, and A is to X is equal to 1:1. So, basically what happens here is you have a face centered cubic packing of cations here. So, you have a structure like this. Okay. And this is your anion. Okay. So, this is a face centered cubic packing of anions. So, this is X. So, where can the cation go? Cation, we are saying on the radius ratio, cation goes to, based on RR, cation goes to octahedral sites, and X makes a FCC lattice. It has made a FCC lattice. Which are the octahedral sites now? This is an octahedral site in the center. This is an octahedral site. 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 So, octahedral sites are basically, so X makes a FCC lattice. Octahedral sites are at 1 half half half, and then half 0 0, 0 half 0 and 0 0 half, basically center of the edges. So, this is one atom, this is two atom, 3. So, all the atoms can be put at the center of these edges. So, you have now 12 of these sodium atoms sitting at 12 edges, and since each edge is shared by one neighbor, as a result each edge is shared by 4 neighbors. As a result, you will have 3 effective atoms of sodium sitting at the octahedral sites plus 1 at the center. So, this will make a sodium chloride structure, rock salt. So, this is chlorine, this is sodium. So, FCC, this is basically the lattice type in this case. What is the lattice type? Lattice type is FCC, very good. So, lattice type is FCC. How do you describe the motif? Now that there are 2 atoms, you need to describe the motif. So, you first need to define the motif for the coordinates of chlorine. Chlorine is at, and if you define FCC lattice and chlorine at 0, 0, 0, it means all the FCC atoms have been taken care of. But you have sodium also. So, how do you describe the position of sodium? Sodium is displaced with respect to chlorine by 1 by 2. So, you can write it as half 0, 0. So, this is the motif, chlorine at 0, 0, 0, sodium at half 0, 0. Now, let us look at the coordination number of sodium. How many of, let us look at the coordination number of chlorine. How many of sodium atoms around it? So, if I look at this for instance, you have one neighbor on the right, one in this direction, one in that direction, and you are going to have one in this direction, one in this direction, one below. So, basically you are going to have one here and one there. So, chlorine is also surrounded by 6 atoms. Okay. So, we will see something called as bond valence rule later on. The bond valence rule basically allows you to determine how many, whether your valences between, whether the distribution of, whether the number of neighbors for cations and anions are in such a manner, so that solid is electrically neutral and you satisfy the conditions of valences, okay, or electrical neutrality conditions. We will see that in the coming few slides. Let us do some more examples of this case before we get into that. So, this is your rock salt structured compound, in which let me show you how it looks like in terms of, so this is what it looks like basically. So, this is the ball model. You first fill all the FCC sites with X ions and then fill all the octahedral sites with M ions. So, this is what makes a FCC structure of NaCl, and this is what the touching model basically looks like. You have these balls as the white ones are anions, the red ones are cations, and if you look at the top view will look like that. So, this is top view, X and Y positions are self-explanatory, only Z position is mentioned. So, you can see that the sodium ions are at half locations at the edges as well as at the body center. Alright, this is the polyhedral model. In the polyhedral model, what happens is that the polyhedras, you do not have to show any atom, just show how the polyhedras are arranged. So, you can see that since these are all polyhedras, you know, this is surrounded by a polyhedra which is octahedra, this is an octahedra, this is an octahedra. It is like, so if you draw the octahedras only, all the octahedras are arranged vertically in such a fashion. So, this is these are horizontally stacked octahedras, these are all vertically stacked octahedras. So, this is a polyhedral model in which you show not the atoms, but just the polyhedras stacked in certain fashion depending upon how the atoms are coordinated with respect to each other. Okay. So, this is called as rock salt structure. Now, let us look at the second structure, that is called as zinc sulphide structure. and this is called as sphalerite. Sphalerite is a mineral name of zinc sulfide.
It is also known as zinc blende also.
It's known as zinc blende also, zinc blende sphalerite. So you can say zinc blende also. Sphalerite is the name of the mineral. Okay. Now in this kind of structure, the again it's a Mx type of compound. The stoichiometry of M is to X is 1:1, but the radius ratio requires that 4. Coordination of M is 4, and the valences also require that the coordination number of anion is also 4. So again in this case, sulfur atoms make a FCC lattice. So FCC lattice and M occupy the tetrahedral voids. So let us see. So first you fill X, this is X atom. Excuse me. These are all X atoms. Okay. Now you have to draw the M atom. Tetrahedral voids are located at positions 1/4, 1/4, 1/4 type of positions. Basically they are near the corners. Now this atom has FCC structure with 4X. Okay. How many tetrahedral voids you have? You have 8 tetrahedral voids. So you have 8 tetrahedral void, but we have only 4 M atoms based on stoichiometry. Stoichiometry allows that M is to X should be 1, that means we have only 4 M, which means only 50% of tetrahedral voids will be filled. The question is which ones, okay? And the electrostatistics allows and the crystal symmetry allows the filling of only, for example, in this case the one here, the one here, and the one here, and the one there. So which means this is coordinated by this, that, and this. This is coordinated by this, and that. Okay. This is coordinated by this atom, and the one at the center of the face, that is here, and this will be coordinated by this atom, the one here, and the one there. This is how the coordination is going to look. It is like a diamond cubic lattice, basically diamond cubic lattice. It is just that the atom sitting in the tetrahedral void is different. So basically this lattice is, again you can say it is a FCC lattice. The motif can be written as X at 0, 0, 0 and M at. So you can say that it's basically a 2 interpenetrating FCC lattices, right? 2 interpenetrating FCC lattices, one of M, another of X, which are separated by 1/4, 1/4, 1/4. So basically M makes FCC lattice, X makes FCC lattice, but they are shifted with respect to each other by a vector 1/4, 1/4, 1/4. Similarly, in the previous case, you can say you have two FCC lattices. One is made by M, second is made by X, and they are shifted by a vector half 0 0. So, you have one cube of M which is shifted with respect to X by just horizontally shift, just a horizontal shift. So, basically the cube edge can be made here. I can make a cube edge here. So, this could be another representation of unit cell, right? All right. I can put the edge. As far as representation is concerned, this is also a valid unit cell. Right. So, they are just shifted by half 0 0 vector. So, in this case it is two interpenetrating FCC lattices shifted by vector half 0 0. In this case, two interpenetrating FCC lattices shifted by vector 1 by 4 1 by 4 1 by 4. And again, if you want to draw the top view, you can draw the top view. Top view makes it look better. It is very symmetric distribution of atoms. So, if these are M atoms, so M is at 0 1, this is at 0 1, this is at half, these are at, so here also this is at half, this is at half, this is at half, corner ones are at 0 1, this is also at 0 1. Okay. Where is the other atom going to go? One is going to go here, another is going to go here, one is going to go here, another is going to go here. This is at 1 by 4, this is at 1 by 4, this is at 3 by 4. Okay. Very similar to the diamond cubic lattice that we have. All right. So, this is the second cubic close packed structure, which is called as zinc sulphide based structure. Third category of compound is, so in this case, by the way, I just didn't give you the example. In case of NaCl, the examples, there are plenty of examples in NaCl, oxides such as FeO, NiO, MgO, all of them follow NaCl based structures, CaO, okay, CaO, and so on and so forth. So, all of these follow NaCl based structure based on their radius ratio, and in this case zinc sulphide based structures, examples are zinc oxide and your silicon carbide. These follow zinc sulphide based structure. So, again I can show you the model zinc blend. So, this is the chemical formula Mx. The examples are zinc sulphide, beryllium oxide is also there, silicon carbide, gallium arsenide, gallium phosphide, that is also one example. So, both are tetrahedrally coordinated, as I said, half of the tetrahedral voids are filled, and typically it is common to have this structure to be seen in covalently bonded solids. So, there are some deviations from the radius ratio, not all of them will follow radius ratio rule, and that is why covalent bonding dominates, because it requires four-fold coordination. So, this is the structure. You have sulfur atoms, and these are tetrahedrally coordinated zinc atoms, and this is the polyhedral model in which you can see that these are all tetrahedras. But you see, in the previous case the octahedras were aligned along vertical axis, which is 1 0 0 0 1 0 or 0 0 1 axis. Here the tetrahedras are stacked along 1 1 1 axis of the unit cell along the body diagonal. Okay. So, let us see the third example here now, which is the third example is fluorite structured compounds. So, third structure that we are going to look at is called as fluorite structured compound. In this fluorite structured compound, basically what happens is you have, these are based on compound called as CaF2. Okay. So, calcium fluoride is the parent compound, and for this the radius ratio, as we have seen, is falls in the category of nearly cubic coordination. So CaF2 typically, if you go to previous one of the slides, it has a radius ratio of nearly 0.73 or so, and as we said, it tends to follow a cubic coordination of cations. And so based on this, cubic coordination of cations can form like this. One possibility is this, that you make a cubic coordination means 8-fold coordination, right? Which means there should be 8 cations surrounding an there should be 8 anions surrounding a cation. Now, under what conditions is that possible? It is possible, for example, in this condition. These are 8 anions, and the cation can go somewhere in between. This is, let us say, cation. But there is a problem. The problem is the valence, because if you look at this structure and if this follows in 3D, what is the number of neighbors of cation? 8. And if this follows in 3D, what will be the number of neighbors for anions? So, how many neighbors will this be now surrounded by? If you consider this as the reference atom, let us say this as a reference atom, you have 1 here, you will have 7 on the other sides. So, this will also have 8 neighbors. What is the valence that you have? Valence is, the stoichiometry is 1:2. So, stoichiometry says that for each calcium I have 2 fluorines, but the coordination number based on this structure is saying that it is 1:1, because both of them have same number of neighbors. So, there is something called as, what we look at, that is bond valence. Okay, where we calculate a parameter called as bond strength, which is equal to valence of the ion divided by coordination. Okay, sorry, this is bond strength, not bond valence, bond strength rule. This says bond strength is, let us say, chi. Okay. This says that for a charge neutral solid, if you have, let's take for example of calcium fluoride. For a charge neutral solid, the bond strength of cations and anions must be equal to each other. So, now calculate that for NaCl first. NaCl, so let us say chi Na. Chi Na, the valence of the ion was 1, coordination number was 6. If you look at chi Cl, this was also 1/6. Same is true for ZnS. What about CaF2? Chi Ca, I am saying the valence of the ion is 2, and the bond coordination is 8. This is, if this structure was true, then it would be 1 divided by 8. They are not equal to each other. So, which means this is not right. For this to be equal, let us say the coordination number is, now let us say the coordination number is unknown. So, if these were equal, the coordination number for fluorine now will be equal to 4. If chi Ca is equal to chi F, all right. So, now we need to look at this structure in a different manner. I think we need to do that in the next class because the time is running out. So, we will do that in the next lecture. But I hope that is clear. The point was that when the valences are different, you need to look at it in a different manner. Okay.